Okay, good morning, guys. Let me start sharing my screen. All right, thank you so much for joining me on the day 5 of the Awaken Your Inner Tester workshop by QAGENIC. So today is going to be a short topic wherein I would be discussing with you the various uh, things how you can get yourself into a job. So if we talk about the agenda, so on day 5 here. Today we are going to talk on how to get 100% job guarantee with QHNX. So this, if you remember, was one of the slides from our previous days. And I want to reiterate these testing streams once again and tell you guys that you can go into any of these testing fields. Totally depends upon the interest that you have. So if you're very fresh, if you're coming out from a college and if you want to explore the software testing industry, I would always recommend people to go into doing manual testing course and getting a job in the manual testing field. If you're someone who knows a little bit of coding, Java, Python type of coding, so you would definitely be a good fit in the automation. Definitely you have to first understand the manual concepts, then you would be able to get down into doing the automation work here. For the performance side of it, this again is more of a technical, more than a technical stuff as compared to the manual testing, wherein you have to do some scripting so that you can generate load of the virtual users on an application. So even this would require a little bit of coding, but not as much as that would be required in the automation. Again, this is something that you can do after you have done your manual testing course, or you have a good understanding experience in the manual testing. Then that is where you can jump into doing performance testing. So in a nutshell, in a nutshell, manual testing is your stepping stone. You have to first get the concepts right on the manual testing side of it, which is going to set the base for you from where you can actually jump into any of the other testing streams. API testing nowadays is like something that is being uh, used with all of the projects. The APIs are being created in most of the projects that you see out there in the market. So for sure, with manual testing, this is something that you should be picking up in these days. You have to get API testing. You should have API testing understanding. You should get to this course for sure once you are done with manual testing. Even this would go in for somebody who is picking up automation as their preferred course. So API is divided into two parts. It has uh, a manual flavor to it, so that you can go execute all of the APIs manually, as well as you can automate all of these APIs. So it would be really great if you could combine API testing with the automation and you can automate all the APIs. But then comes the database testing, wherein you would be directly interacting with the backend, with the database itself. So here you should be very strong with the SQL queries. You have to verify whether the data that you have in the database is all correct or not. If there is a migration between two different databases, you need to ensure that the migration has been done correctly. So that is all that goes in and into database. Okay, accessibility is one of those streams which is really picking up pace in India. It's already in there in US. So this is a type of testing which through which you would ensure that specially abled people are able to use the applications as good as the other folks. So there are a lot of compliances that are written around the accessibility, through which you would be ensuring that all of these compliances, all of these processes have been taken care of while the application was developed. And then the specially able people who are blind, who are deaf, who are people who are colorblind, so they all also can use the application as good as any other folk there in the world. So this again is a very interesting and upcoming field. If you are interested in doing that, it would be more of a manual stuff here. With the help of tools, you would be actually doing this accessibility testing. Content testing is something that is again in high demand these days with the type of the content that is being generated, that is being created on a daily basis. So the content here would mean that you are testing the various type of things like the text that you see on the applications, the videos, uh, the the audio that you have. The audio and the video sync should be perfectly fine. There are different PDFs if you're talking about the e-learning domain. So a lot of stuff here uh, uh, is actually generated on a daily basis. So that is something that you would be doing or testing in the content testing side of it. Mobile application testing, we all know, we all carry a number of mobiles with us, and then the applications that are growing on the mobile platform is immense. On a daily basis you get to see a new application getting launched, and mobile testing is something that is more of becoming again a part of the manual testing. Though you can also automate mobile application testing through the automation tools like Selenium, uh, or other tools like Appium. So mobile application testing is again one of those things that you have to definitely test out when you are when you're doing manual testing on the web application. You probably would be also asked that you have to do mobile application testing for the same application. Apart from these, there are more fields like localization, internationalization, globalization. So, wherein what happens is that you are creating an application in one particular language. Let's say it is created in English, and after it is launched, the project manager would decide to take it to some other country, let's say uh, to to France, and now they have to actually change the complete language of this application to French. So when you make that change, when you change the UI to ensure that French people can start using this application, you do the localization of this application into the for the French, for the France locale itself. So that is one type of a testing that you would ensure, through which you would ensure that when the transformation or when the localization has been done for that particular locale, you ensure that it has been done in a proper manner. The functionality would still remain the same because you are not going to touch the logic behind it. But still, since you are making changes to the application, it is always recommended that you also do functional testing for a localized application. Then there is one other type of testing, which is a very interesting field, which is known as security testing. And we all know how important security is with all the applications and with all the different types of hacking techniques that have been developed, which can hack us anytime. So we need to make sure that the applications that we're testing are highly secure. For that matter, you do security testing again with by using a number of tools that are available in the market. So just to reiterate myself, so these all are the various software testing streams that you can choose, uh, how you or in which stream you want to make your career, and based upon that, before you go down into any of those streams, the first stepping stone for you or the launch pad for you is definitely going to be the manual testing, through which you would be understanding all the concepts that are required to become a software tester. And what QAGENIC offers, uh, sorry, so what QAGENIC offers from our own experience in the industry and looking at the type of the jobs that are available right now in the industry, we want what we recommend is that mix you add two of the trainings or three of the trainings or four of the trainings together and make yourself an expert in that particular area. So these are some of the flavors that we recommend, but these are not limited just to these 8 flavors. It is totally up to your own choice. It is totally up to your own preference how you want to take it forward. If you just want to be in the manual software testing, that is also fine. If you want to flavor it up with any other combination, that is completely up to you. So my preferred flavor for now is somebody should be doing flavor 5, the manual functional testing, the manual API, and the database testing. This is according to the current market standards that I see a lot of job openings in this particular area are coming through us on a daily basis. So This is one of my preferred flavors that I would be suggesting, that anybody should be taking up, or at least you should be going in for manual, or a manual with the manual functional testing with the manual API testing, which is flavor number one. So this is definitely a go flavor for me. All right, so moving ahead, you guys must be wondering, there are so many different institutes out there. Why should we actually go in and take a training from QAGENIC itself? And why not some other institute? The first and the foremost thing is that QAGENIC is not a software testing institute. We are a software testing organization, and we run one of our departments, which is of software testing training, or in whole training department, through which we are imparting many different trainings, not just limited to software testing side of it. We have software development trainings, DevOps trainings, Jira trainings, a lot more trainings there. So that is one of the that is one of the benefits that you get out of doing a training course through QAGenic, is that you are not actually going in an institute, rather you are stepping into a professional environment. You're going to be taught by through the practical ways, through which we are going to put assign you on a live real project. So you will be working as a part of the team while you are on the training. It is not that you are going to work on a Facebook page, or a Google search engine as a live project, but rather you would be actually working in as a team member with one of our projects that are ongoing, for which we would require you to sign a NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, because this is a real client that we are dealing with, and we sign our NDAs with them. And similarly, you have to sign the NDAs with us, so that we ensure that any of the information that you gather while you're on that project from the client side, you don't leak it out into the market. So even we are bound, and similarly in that way, you are also bound with that NDA. So on the practical exposure side, while you are on training, you are going to get access to a lot of tools like Jira, Postman, Trello, Trails, whatever you would actually be using when you get down into a job. All of these tools would be available to you during the training course, so that you can use them. You can get your hands dirty. You can understand exactly how these tools would work. So we would ensure that you get a complete practical exposure while you are on training. It is not just that you would be called in the theoretical classes, would be explained all the theory. Rather, our main focus throughout the training program would be to take you through the practical side of it. And uh, about 70% of your training program would be on the practical aspects of it. You would be doing those things yourself. You would be finding defects. You would be writing your test cases. You would be logging your defects. You would see how the user stories would move around the agile board. You would be doing all of these things practically yourself, so that you get a complete hands-on experience of how things work. Getting a practical exposure is one part of it. The other and the very important part is to also get the soft skills training. So when you're working in an environment wherein you have a team, you're working as a team member, so you would have a team mentor, you would have a team lead with you. So during that particular working in that particular environment, you would understand, you would learn the professional behavior and the professional etiquettes that one has to follow while being a part of a team. How you need to talk to your seniors, how do you respect them, how do you respond back to them. uh, if there is a meeting that is being called up, you know that you would understand that you need to show up at least 5 minutes before the meeting starts. You should take down your notes. You should create a minutes of meeting. You should send those back to them. You should take action items. You should be assigning action items to all of those minutes of meeting that you capture. So these are some of those professional behavior and professional etiquettes that you would be understanding when you're working in a team environment. Along with that, email writing and chatting skills is something that we would be teaching you, and we will be telling you how things work in in the professional world, how you should be responding back to each of the messages, each of the emails that you receive. If there is a question that is being asked by your senior or by a client, how do you respond back to them through emails or through chat. So soft skills training is one of those aspects which is different, and is not taught in any of the other training institutes or training organizations. which we focus on while you are on the training. So once your training is complete, we provide you job support. So there would be some ready test cases which we would be giving to you, so that when you land in your job, you can use these test cases readily. Just make a few changes, a few small tweaks, and you should be good to use the same test cases for your own project, which would give you a kick start on your project. It would give you a very high confidence that you are ahead of the time, and you are all then set to go. There would be a lot of templates, including test cases, test plans, daily status reporting templates that would be provided to you, which again would help you in your job. You don't have to run around. You don't have to see what are the templates that are being used. How do I start writing my test case? So you would all you would all be set with all of these templates, and what would be required from your side then by using these templates is that you would just focus on the project and you would start executing it. Right. So with we're talking about the interview preparation. So we conduct mock interviews to help you gain the confidence. So it is not that the mock interviews will happen only once. If you are good in the first mock interview, very good, we would give you that feedback there. If you are not up to the mark in the first mock interview, we would give you the feedback. We would tell you that these are the things that you need to improve upon, and we will conduct more mock interviews for you until you come up to that particular level, wherein we feel we have that confidence that you can go and present yourself well in the final job interview. We have some in-house tools through which we help you prepare your CV to look more professional rather than look very raw. So this is something that we uh, help out during the training program that you sign up for. We also help you uh, with the interview etiquette. So we tell you how you need to present yourself during the interview. There are a lot of guru mantras, a lot of tips that we provide to you during those during the time that you need to go in for the interview. And over and above all of these points, one thing to mention here is that on these trainings, the instructors that you would find in any of the training program would have at least 10 years of industry experience. And these are the folks who are also currently working with big organizations. Some of them are a part of QAGENIC, others are still working with other MNCs, big organizations. The other people who would be teaching you. So just imagine the practical experience that they would be bringing along with them in the training programs. And uh, last thing here that makes QAGENIC's complete curriculum or the content that we have created very different is that this content has been created by me, who has almost now 20 years of experience in the IT industry. So this is not something that you would find, this content is not something that you would find anywhere on the websites, on the internet. So this is something that has been created by my own experience, putting in all the effort here. And this is very original and very organic content, which is very much relevant to the current IT industry, to the current QA industry that you have in place right now. So moving on, so these are a few of those numbers that would show you the success that we have achieved in placing the students who have joined us. So uh, we are very proud of this particular number, that we are able to place 93.5% of our students who were trained through QAGENIC. And here are some of those breakdowns on these numbers, on this percentage. Is that 1267 candidates applied, and we selected 1051 of those candidates. The reason why we rejected a few of those candidates was because they did not have the right qualification, or they did not have that right intent through which we were confident that they would be able to do well in the training program. So that is the reason why we have rejected a few of those candidates. And it is not just that somebody who is interested in taking a software testing training through QAGENIC would directly come in, pay the fees, and get onboarded. It is uh, it is a it is quite a process through which you could actually enroll into this particular training program. And our team here, they screen each and every candidate's resume. They talk to them, they counsel them. Then they when they feel that this folk is really good, he is or she is looking uh, for a training program that QAgenic is will be able to provide them, that is the time when we have that student onboarded to our training program. And out of these 1051, 983 candidates have been placed. Uh, and the data that you see here is mostly on the cases where people or the students have themselves turned down the offers for many reasons. A few of the ladies that I could remember, they were getting married and they have asked us to keep their recruitment on hold. And then there were cases wherein people were actually moving out of that particular city. So if I could remember, there were few folks who were coming from Pune when we were offering them jobs in Pune itself. So they said no, they're actually moving their base out from Pune to Bangalore to Hyderabad. So that was the reason why they could not join the offers that they were given. And so moving then ahead, so these are few of those companies where you see our students from QAgenic are working, and all of we constantly get feedback from all of these partner companies of ours. And it is not just to tell you guys here, but all of these companies talk very high about the people that are placed through QAgenic with all of these firms. So these are few of the links that you can follow along through the YouTube channel. You can watch our demo sessions, and you can for your for you can on your own understand what are the different teaching techniques we use during our training session. So these are the live recorded demo sessions from the training classes that we have conducted. And then there are testimonials, and people talk, the students talk high about QAgenic. So these again are real authentic testimonials that you can go and look for, which probably will help you uh, understand the type of training that we provide. Okay, if you have any questions, you are then welcome enough to post those in the comments down below. And these are our contact numbers, these are our addresses, this is where our head office is located, and you can call us anytime. You can go to our website, you can send out an email to us, and we would be more than happy to help you out. Right, guys, thank you so much for seeing this particular video, and wish you all the very best in your career ahead.